Motley Crue once said, "I'm on my way, home sweet home." Well, I'm back to my hometown for the newest creepy places of New England. Instead of just focusing on one area, we're going to go to a couple areas that have like interesting legends or interesting history. So right now we're heading towards Carbuncle Pond, and hopefully we get to film the rest of it today, but as the sun's settling down, so yeah, I might be in different clothes than some of the other videos. So I hope you all enjoy where I grew up.
We should change your clothes.
We are at Carbuncle Pond in my hometown of Coventry. And I will say that Coventry has a lot of lakes, camping areas, and fishing areas, and areas where kids go and do drugs and have unprotected sex. Now, what's so special about Carbuncle Pond? Well, I was actually informed by someone on YouTube, actually. I actually can't remember his screen name off the back of my head. Carbuncle Pond has a very interesting legend, assuming that. Let me let you enjoy the view a little bit. Ooh. Okay, according to an old Native American legend, these Native Americans fought a giant serpent to get this sort of like gigantic stone, like a gemstone. They didn't fight it here. However, the Native Americans put the stone at the bottom of this lake. So, we'll continue on with the story. They took the gem and placed it at the bottom of Carbuncle Pond. And Steve is actually going to go into the water. Ah! Go find the gem, bitch! Anyway, it will be interesting to note that carbuncle actually has two types of meanings. One is carbuncle is a deep red cut gemstone, so it might be interesting that this place is called Carbuncle Pond. However, carbuncle is also the name of a mystical creature with a gem in its forehead. According to some reports, the Spanish conquistador, when they came to America in the 16th century, claimed to have saw this carbuncle creature. However, I don't really think, I'm not sure if there's any connection with this pond being named in Carbuncle Pond and the legend of the Native Americans killing the creature for the gem, because the Spanish conquistador did not come up to the New England coastline. Well, we're still in my hometown, of course. Actually, not too far from where I grew up, my old house. This is a burned down house that I used to live right near. See, if you look over there, far over there, is where I used to live. The house has been totally changed. You won't even recognize it anymore. I don't even recognize it anymore. Okay, what makes this place spooky? Well, this house wasn't always burnt down, okay? It was actually quite stunning. It was like a 2-floor building. And boy, it was just one creepy place that just freaked me out. It was so scary and spooky looking. However, there was also rumors, and I've actually been told this by my parents, that this place also housed Satanists. The Satanists were stealing animals from the local area off of Indian Trail, and other places too, like Acres of Pine and stuff like that, and killing the animals in here. Now, a story I heard was that the cops actually set fire to this building and burned it to the ground. I do not know if that's true, but, you know, if this place was being used as Satanists and they were chopping up animals left and right, I guess they would burn it down. And I just want to show you this. I was thinking they're getting ready to build up this area, so I guess it's kind of good now. They're really destroying nature. They must be Republicans. They're destroying everything and building stuff up, but I was actually, when I came here, I was actually kind of shocked seeing this. So, but like I said, I grew up right over there, where the finger's pointing. We're still at the homestead of Nathaniel Green, on a very, very, very busy road. This area of Coventry, I know, has always been busy. I want to show you this post. May peace prevail on earth. Something that Republicans don't like because they like war. But what's interesting is that it's in many different languages. I have no clue what this is. I have no clue what this is. I got no clue what this is. Does anyone? I don't know what language these are. These are like, I don't know what these are. I think this is Spanish. Well, anyway, it's just interesting. I just wanted to point this out. You know, people in Coventry want peace. Well, here's our last stop. There's actually many places to go to in Coventry. A lot of cemeteries. And lots of busy roads. But anyway, I just want to show you this one cemetery. Really, I used to hang out in a lot. It's actually a very creepy cemetery. It's very big too. But Hopkins, I do believe, was actually one of sort of like the founders of Coventry. And you can actually look in here. And it smells like death. Oh yeah. Can we smell it more?
No.
I like death. Anyway, so this is always like sort of like a main thing I could always see was the sort of like the Hopkins. I'm gonna look at it, but I'm pretty sure they were sort of like one, or at least one of the affluent families in Coventry. Coventry has many affluent families. And so I used to come through here sometimes at night, and this place was always kind of like, well, little creepy, yeah, very creepy. I don't really think this place is haunted, honestly. I mean, and you guys know I'm open-minded to ghosts, and I do believe in ghosts and hauntings. I never really got that this place is haunted. You know, maybe a couple spirits might visit every now and then, but here's a little Mary by the cross. And see that church right there? I actually used to go there, believe it or not. And you know what makes it even more funny? It's a Baptist church. And remember what I said about Baptists? In case you forgot, I call them assholes. Well, these people kind of convinced me that they are. And I actually would feel kind of bad if they actually watched the videos, because there was a couple there that I did like 2 or 3 people there that I liked. So, you know, so I used to come here, I used to sort of like chill out here and stuff like that, and, you know, so, you know, you kind of got to get the general idea of where I get a lot of my influences and interests in like cemeteries and old places and spooky places and stuff like that. So, well, this will actually be the final stop in creepy places of Rhode Island, my hometown. Boo, Baptist. Hiss. Some say you can never go home, but I sure did. Well, I hope you enjoyed some of the locations that are through my hometown of Coventry and some of the spots that I know. This is Johnson's Pond. You guys can't see it because kids kept jumping off the bridge, so they put a fence up. And this is where I grew up. I grew up on this pond, swam in and everything. The road that I grew up is where all those houses are. Don't be too impressed. I didn't grow up in a big house like they did. So, and another little tidbit note, even though we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, this road can get awfully busy. But creepy places of New England, my hometown, Coventry, Rhode Island.